So for Tier 2, we talk about what does Rocket League need to do to grow to a Tier 1 esport, and I think a lot of people would agree, invest in the Tier 2 level of pro play. Basically, create a path to pro. Right now, you're either pro or you're not, and it's really hard to justify that grind when there's really not many opportunities. Orgs are not interested in you as a team because there's no events for you to play in. It's hard to earn money as obviously you're not getting signed to an org. There's no events to win earnings, etc., etc. So it's hard for players to justify going from ranked warrior to pro play, especially as life starts to come at them 18 plus. Then they have to start, handling a lot of things that you wouldn't have to handle when you're still under mom and dad's roof. And so I think part of the healthy ecosystem for creating an esport that could potentially be Tier 1 is having a semi-pro area. And we saw this. This was a community-led, community-funded, or is a community-led event or league or whatever you want to call it, series. And it was funded through sponsorships, but it's what I'm saying is this is not Psyonix. Okay, so this was called the AAA Challenger Series. And the way this worked, okay, they had events, and the event was basically tied directly into RLCS. And here's how it worked. Teams which placed 9th through 16th in the spring in a closed qualifier, okay? These are your teams that just missed out on the regional. So you got your regional participants, which are 1 through 16, and then you would have 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, okay? So 17 through 23 would be placed directly into the event. And then they had essentially it's basically RLCS Tier 2. That's basically what it is. Then they have qualifiers, or you could have qualifiers to compete against those teams. So basically what you could do is just do what you have in RLCS format and then just knock it to the next 16 teams. So now you have 1 through 16 that are competing in that Premier League, but then you'd have 17 through 32 competing in basically like a Tier 2 level, right? And so they could do that, and they could outsource it and put it on, ask Rival Esports to Rocket in North America. They could ask Rocket Baguette to Rocket to run it over in Europe, right? And what this is this runs alongside RLCS. So now if you are a team that's not good enough, you didn't qualify into the regional, or even a team that's regularly in the regionals and you miss out on one because you flubbed a qualifier, now you have something else. You have a safety net. There's some investment in Tier 2, and this gives a place for these players that are pursuing pro play to sharpen their skills and to prove themselves. Something we talked about was super high level talent not really getting opportunities on top teams until they grind their way up and prove themselves. This would be another area for them to prove themselves. And so they can run this during the week. It doesn't even have to be a weekend thing. It can be all online. It doesn't have to be super large prize pool or anything like that, but it's just a place to belong, a place for players to compete in some official manner. I think it'd be killer. I think it'd be so awesome. They could even, like I said, they could outsource it to Rival Esports, outsource it to Rocket Baguette, whatever, but they could host it on their twitch.tv /RL Esports. So not the main Rocket League channel, but they could do it on that secondary channel. And this is just going to invest in those players, tell those players, hey, we see you. We want you to succeed. We're providing a platform for you to do